This monsoon season here in India, it has rained a lot. And this rain brought with it both respite from the extreme heat, but also devastation. Hello and welcome, I am Sadhika Tiwari and you're watching Eco India. While the north battled the heaviest rain spell in over a decade, which brought with it landslides and floods, the challenge of water scarcity has also become more complex in many regions because of the changing climate. In today's episode, let's take a look at how people are trying to live and survive with these complex emerging challenges. The monsoon downpours turn the land green and alive, but in Kerala, they bring out yet another presence: snakes. With their homes flooded, they slither dangerously close to humans, often with dire consequences. In India, snake bite is a massive crisis, and we account for the largest global burden of snake bite deaths. But can a statewide rescue network ensure that snakes and humans can survive the monsoons peacefully?
It's been almost 15 years, but Raman P remembers the incident like it happened yesterday. Now 78 years old, he was bitten by a snake while mowing a field. I was taken to the hospital, and soon after I arrived, the pain surged. They gave me an injection, but my leg started swelling all the way up to my hip, and I was unable to walk. We're in Kasaragod in the north of Kerala. Climate change means the monsoons here are often more intense than they used to be. The rainy season leaves entire areas submerged for days on end, and snakes with no home. Among them are four of the deadliest snakes on the planet: the common krait, the Russell's viper, the saw-scaled viper, and the Indian cobra. Kerala has seen countless snakebite fatalities over the years, with well over 100 in 2019 alone. 42-year-old Santosh is a trained snake rescuer and says residents should avoid trying to catch the dangerous reptiles themselves. Regardless of size, it's difficult to tell venomous snakes from non-venomous ones. Some of them look extremely similar. For instance, a lot of people have mistaken the Russell's viper for a python. Residents from Santosh's own home village of Panayal give him a call whenever they discover a snake. This time, one has made itself a home near a cowshed. It's a job that requires Santosh to stay calm and focused in order to catch the snake quickly and safely. I also have to focus on protecting the people there. It's important to handle both carefully, ensuring no harm comes to either, and to rapidly release the snake back into the wild. Santosh is just one of over 3,000 snake rescuers across Kerala. Together, they form a life-saving network of volunteers ready to take action in emergencies. They can be reached via the Snake Awareness Rescue and Protection app, or SARPA, launched by the Kerala Forest Department. In the 5 years since its inception, SARPA has caught and safely released some 60,000 snakes, with each rescue being recorded in the app by the volunteers. The past few days have seen a particularly large number of call-outs. During the rainy season, we predominantly spot the Indian rock python, which moves with flooded water bodies. Yesterday, we had 4 calls, all involving pythons. When floodwaters submerge their shelters, snakes move to higher ground, which often means closer to people's homes or firewood stacks. Kerala is home to over a third of the 340 plus species found in India. They are covered by the Wildlife Protection Act passed in 1972. But human expansion has diminished the natural habitats of snakes, resulting in a growing frequency of encounters between the reptiles and people. Today, the SARPA team is holding an educational workshop on snakes. What should people do if they find a snake? And is there any truth behind the age-old belief that cobras are motivated by revenge? Thanks to Santosh's information and awareness classes, that myth has disappeared. Now, if we encounter a dangerous snake like a cobra, we immediately call Santosh to perform a rescue. The team then makes another educational visit. They've come to the Government Fisheries HSS school in Bekal, where pupils can get answers to all their snake-related questions. This special lesson is very much appreciated by the school. Dark or unused corners can attract reptiles. So knowing what to do when a snake is spotted and how to stay safe until a rescuer arrives makes a real difference. I feel that giving children this awareness course is truly a positive move. At the same time, snakes are important pest controllers and, as a source of food for birds and other predators, play a vital role in the food chain. For the creator and current state coordinator of SARPA, Muhammad Anwar, the welfare of the reptiles has always been important. People used to catch the snakes by their neck, and by that very grab itself, the snake would be injured. So we can't expect the snake to survive that. Today, however, the rescue process is scientific and safe. When a SARPA support member rescues a snake, it truly means that the snake is rescued, not captured or injured. The years to come will inevitably see an increase in encounters between humans and snakes, especially when the rainy season forces the reptiles to find a new home. But thanks to SARPA's team of volunteers, those encounters should be marked more by coexistence than conflict.
While the monsoons bring out hidden dangers in Kerala, in Assam, they bring forth yet another challenge: floods. When a river gives you life but takes it back in equal measure, how do you build a home around it? In Assam, flooding has become an annual affair, but people are now adapting. There's a design that's developed over the centuries, but can even that withstand the changing climate?
The Brahmaputra is more than just a river for the missing people of Assam. It's a lifeline, a teacher, and also a threat. For generations, they have adapted to its changing modes. The word missing itself translates to man of the water. Here, life begins early. Rajen Mili, a farmer from the missing community of the Biswanath district, sets out towards the Chapori, a riverine island. The Chapori provides a natural and abundant grazing area, supporting the cattle rearing of the missing community.
We are one of the few communities to live very close to the Brahmaputra. Because of erosion from the Brahmaputra, the river changes its way, and when it meanders to the settlement, then during floods, we dismantle and move our houses to a new place. It is almost impossible to survive here without changhar.
Changhar, or stilt houses, are a unique architecture of the missing community. They are made using bamboo. Because of bamboo's lightweight and flexibility, these elevated houses are flood resistant.
We need a lot of bamboo to make a changhar. From making the pillars, walls, the raised platform, to a false ceiling. Long grasses to make the roof. The fireplace is our main area. We eat here and we sit here in groups to discuss. We make promises before the fire as a sacred witness.
An average changhar can cost between 80,000 to 1 lakh rupees to be built. that is around 900 euros. The effectiveness of the Changar has been recognized by the government as well. The National Social Welfare Program to provide housing for populations below the poverty line also finances the building of changars in flood-prone areas.
Floods make our land fertile, so farming feels rewarding. We grow flood-resistant paddy like ao and bao here, and also rare animals like cows, goats, chicken, and ducks. Fish is our staple. We missing people deeply rely on it.
With a population of over 680,000, the Mising are one of the largest tribal communities in Assam and are vulnerable to climate change. Despite the increasing frequency of floods and erosion, they continue to rely on indigenous knowledge, especially in relation to the Changar.
When the flowing water becomes muddy and full of sand, it's a sign that there has been heavy rain in the hills and a flood may be on its way in a few days. When monsoons come, then you see the real benefits of Changhar. We mark our houses to ensure the water level stays below it.
But the story of resilience isn't only told by men. For women of the Mising community, living with the river brings its own daily challenges.
Sometimes the raised platform floods, so we build another one on top. For women, it's not always easy. Not everyone can take a boat to the river. I have been using a boat since I was 15.
Like Hunumati, many families depend on boats as much as their homes. For Rajain too, the canoe is as essential as the stilted house. Flood preparedness isn't just about housing. It's woven into the Mising way of life. From storing food and learning to swim early to survive the Brahmaputra's powerful currents, to planting cycles, to the shared knowledge passed down through generations. This community has long practiced what the world now calls climate resilience.
Sanghor is emerging as one of the significant practices in climate change adaptation at the community level. During a disaster point of time, people are able to stay within their own houses instead of moving beyond their houses to the other communities.
For missing women and youth, the floods mean more than displacement. They disrupt education, health, and safety. Still, many young people remain rooted here, working with elders to preserve their culture while finding new solutions. For centuries, the missing people have lived not in defiance of the Brahmaputra, but in rhythm with it. The Changar is not just a shelter, it is memory, knowledge, and resistance, stilted above the tides of change.
From India, let's head to the heartland of Europe, Berlin. Here, water shortage is becoming a major challenge. Falling river levels are threatening not just the city's drinking water security, but also its industries and its green spaces. But can a master plan help a modern metropolis adapt to a future with less water?
The container terminal at Berlin's Westhafen port still has plenty of work. Scrap metal destined for a steelworks outside the city can still be shipped out of the capital as usual. Many building materials for construction sites in Berlin are transported by ship. But if water levels continue to fall, many industrial goods like this gas turbine could no longer be transported.
This is not a load that we can split. A turbine weighing 500 tons means the boat sinks lower in the water, and we can't change that. For the industry that manufactures these goods, it's very serious if they can no longer transport them. Water transport is the only option.
20 kilometres away, Berlin's Wannsee Lake is fed largely by groundwater. Its water level has fallen. Drinking water supplies are dwindling, a problem that the Berlin waterworks are all too aware of. The main problem is the climate crisis. The climate has changed dramatically, with much longer summers, sometimes with flash heat and flash droughts, which we experienced last year, for example. Then, of course, there's the steadily growing population. There are more and more of us. We've just had a few very wet months, which is nice, but nature needs all that rain. It just disappears into the plants and trees, so none of it replenishes the groundwater. What we need to secure groundwater capacity is rain in the fall and winter. If we get a rainy winter, things slowly recover. As it is, we haven't managed to get back to the level we were at before 2010, for example. Despite that, Berlin still has enough drinking water. The company responsible for ensuring the city's water supply is the Berliner Wasserbetriebe. This treatment facility is one of the largest, supplying up to 1 million people daily. The water is purified in huge basins with the help of gravel. The result is clean drinking water. But if the city's rivers and lakes have less water overall, problems will arise in the long term. The waterworks are already preparing. When we get less fresh water from the Spree and Havel rivers, the proportion of recycled water increases. So water that's been purified by our treatment plants and is back in the cycle. So our job isn't just to ensure that everything works well. The plant is very much involved in ensuring the safety of our drinking water. We're developing more advanced stages of treatment that remove phosphorus and nitrogen even more effectively, for example, which will also protect our waterways. It's costing millions of euros. Making the city resilient to climate change and managing with less water is expensive, as the Berlin Senate knows all too well.
We're not just starting to invest now. Berlin has been working hard for 10 to 20 years to modernize and expand its infrastructure. But we needed a concrete strategy for Berlin, so we developed a master plan for the city's water supply.
The master plan includes strategies for saving water. Wastewater treatment plants are being expanded and more greenery planted. This is the eastern district of Neukölln. In Hasenheide Park, the local council has planted over 300 new trees that require less water.
We're planting different trees than we used to. We're now taking species that, firstly, are more resistant to certain fungi and other pests, and secondly, that tend to come from the Mediterranean region, because we assume that they're likely to cope better with the climate in the years and decades to come.
New shrubs have also been planted. The aim is to foster biodiversity, but how to keep them watered and who will pay for the gardeners?
These days, we have to care for young trees for a lot longer. We used to water trees for the first 3 years, and then they could take care of themselves. Now it takes 7 to 10 years.
He'd like to plant more trees and shrubs in other green spaces in the district, but it's just too expensive. He says it's the same elsewhere in the city.
The problem in Berlin is not that we don't understand what's needed. The problem is doing it. Everyone talks about action and master plans, but we lack the finances and personnel to implement it.
Back to the port. The management here is concerned about the long-term future, given the water levels. Would diverting water from other rivers, like the Havel or the Elbe, help to replenish the river Spree?
Yes, there are ideas about diverting water from the Elbe into the Spree. But you know yourself, the Elbe often runs low too. There have been times when shipping traffic on the Elbe has had to cease for a whole year. That's probably not the solution either. I think we can no longer afford to let the rivers drain off water during times of high water. we need to focus more on retaining that water so that when it doesn't rain, we can top up the rivers from the reservoir.
Everyone agrees that something needs to happen to ensure that Berlin has enough water for its industry, residents, and green spaces in the years to come.
Let's now head back to India, where water is not only scarce and overflowing, but also hijacked. In Tamil Nadu, the ponds that were once alive are now smothered by water hyacinth, a plant so invasive that it chokes the life out of water bodies. But a 24-year-old ecologist is now flipping the script and turning this menace into something very useful: paper.
This is the story of ecologist Sushmita Krishnan, who turns water hyacinths into biodegradable paper. It's a win-win because although attractive, water hyacinths are extremely fast-growing and highly invasive. Originally introduced to India from South America, they quickly clog lakes and wetlands, damaging existing ecosystems. A pond in the village of Allur in Tamil Nadu. Farmer Muthu used to rely on the water source to irrigate his fields. But now it's been completely overtaken by water hyacinths. Back when I was in school, this water was very clean. We used to catch fish here. This area was once farmland and people would bathe in the pond. But now the water is black and polluted. Water hyacinth infestations can cause oxygen depletion in water bodies, increase water loss, and create breeding grounds for mosquitoes. Even when dead, water hyacinths release harmful substances that reduce water quality. The International Union for Conservation of Nature has classified water hyacinths as the world's first aquatic invasive species. A single plant can produce 2,000 seeds. Under favorable conditions, up to 700 tons of water hyacinth can grow per hectare of land. If this continues unchecked, oxygen levels in the water body drop significantly, killing fish populations. This results in economic and ecological losses. The 24-year-old ecologist works with the National College in Tiruchirappalli in the south of Tamil Nadu to tackle this problem. First, we remove the water hyacinth from the water. Then we chop, grind, and extract pulp from it. After that, we add natural binders to the pulp. We use paper frames for this process. The frame is dipped in the pulp, transferred onto a cloth, and left to dry. This process is quite simple. The paper is fully biodegradable and contains no chemicals. It's entirely plant-based.
Completely plant-based.
Sushmita says that 1 kg of water hyacinth can produce 35 A4 sheets of paper. Students at the National College learn how to do it step by step. Sushmita's technology can be shared with self-help groups. They can be taught how to collect water hyacinth even if they only have limited resources. They can also learn how to process it and turn it into different grades of material. Students can acquire this knowledge and then pass it on to villages or communities, helping them generate income. Sushmita hopes that all of India's water bodies will one day be healthy again. And with her idea, she helps to transform a harmful invasive species into a useful resource.
That's all for today's episode. Water is a resource, a force that can both nurture and threaten life. And with the changing climate, these challenges are only going to get more and more complex. But as we saw, people are adapting and finding opportunities within these challenges. Are you seeing any such efforts within your own community? Do let us know, and do not forget to follow us on our Instagram at DW_environment for more stories like this.
Water from the air in one of the hottest places in the world? This simple panel does exactly that. No electricity needed. It's fitted with hydrogels, material that swells up when it captures water vapor, and then shrinks as it's released. The water vapor condenses onto glass and then, ta-da, runs down as drinkable water. The device produced nearly a cup of water per day, even in Death Valley, one of the hottest and driest places in the world. The researchers say multiple panels together could supply a house with drinkable water using no energy. It's a potential solution for the billions of people worldwide who currently lack access to it.
I will see you next time with more such stories. Until then, take care. Goodbye. Namaskar.